この俺が人間なんだ。
Alright, so in this one, I want to go over if you should be summoning for this new Legends All-Star banner that is coming in a few days here on 31st of the units of, Kaioken times 20 Goku and then Revival Frieza to, well, damage Frieza, right? I don't know what else you could call him. We're just going to call him Revival Frieza, right? Should you summon? Now, the units themselves, we're going to touch up on their kits, we're going to look again, because, when you look initially, you see only the good, or you see only the bad, you don't really see the overallness of it, and you only compare them to, like, the, right now, number 1, number 2, number 3 unit again. You're not comparing them to, like, the overall meta, so taking a second glance is obviously good to see how they stand out in PvP, and then, just looking through the banner here, honestly, Birdku and Piccolo returning is interesting, but Reds are dead. They're still dead. This isn't changing anything. This banner's not changing anything. The Goku obviously being a green, while Frieza being a blue. I mean, it just exemplifies that, right? We're not getting any changes. We haven't gone a red in a minute. It's for a reason, because they're not going to do much right now if they come out, right? It's just how it's going to be. They got to power creep these other units, and then maybe not even buff red themselves, but just power creep the other units down to where units like this Goku and Frieza are actually countering them out. You'll know what I mean by going into the kit, but yeah, countering them out, and then red kind of comes back from there, not necessarily by new units, but they also need new units, so it's like, help them out, Next banner, please, give us a red. By the way, this All-Star, I think this is the longest lasting banner in the entire game that's CC based. Obviously I'm disregarding the Zenkai banners for those, 5 few Zenkais that are here forever, but this lasts for, what is that? 2 months! 2 months of dailies. I do recommend doing dailies on this if you're not going to go in for the banner, by the way. But, to look at it, Piccolo, Birdku, kind of misses. Raul Gohan, kind of a miss. Kel Caulifla, kind of a miss. They're just a worse off Bardock, honestly. God Topo's okay, Majub is great, but they've been on banners, so it's not like you're chasing for them. Susan GTK Goku, a miss, and the Nappa. This man's still S tier boosted. That's great, but the main issue is 600 Z power. I had confidence they would at least try to up it to 1,000. With maybe a 15%, 20%, something increase sparking drop rate. It seems nothing at all is changing on All-Star banner. That really, really hurts. That devalues them a lot. I'm quite literally getting half of my Bardocks than I am this Kaioken Goku and this Frieza, right? Because 600 drop, Bardock drops 1200. The value right there already says alone, you should skip this from, like, going in. Now, dailies, fine, do dailies. Do dailies on probably every banner, right? When Bardock banner becomes a daily banner next week, do dailies on that. Every banner, do dailies if you really want to for new unit banners, right? I don't recommend them on, like, these old banners that, like, have, purple, Judo Blue as a featured unit, but new unit banners, for sure. This one falls in that category of just dailies. Bardock does, and this one as well. Just to touch up on their kits here, they're not actually in-game, but they are, spread everywhere. So, Final Form Frieza. Let's just touch up on him, see what he does, and if that draws you in, because units usually just summon for the new units, or people usually just summon for the new units. So, if this one unit draws you in, and you're like, oh my god, I main LOE, I must go, well, please also understand, these units will return within a few months. Units probably before March will usually return with the anniversary. Just kind of how that goes. So remember, they probably will be back on the biggest banner of the year. Hopefully the biggest banner of the year, because God forbid Legends Festival gets passed up, right? Frieza. Now, he lowers sub count both times on both main abilities. Still have a card slot and all that stuff. Then he revives with 70%. You can cancel the revive. I don't expect some great explosion self-destruct unit to come out soon. Maybe new Majin Vegeta, but we just got one that's going to self-destruct. Don't worry too much about that. Cybermen won't make a resurgence in the meta because it's Frieza. And, well, Saiyan Saga is pretty ass anyways. So don't worry about that being canceled out. But it can be canceled, right? Just know that. But don't worry about it. Frieza has what? 100% to peak damage inflicted on his pre-revival state, with that being 80% to general damage inflicted, and then 20% to blast damage, right? He is more blast-based, he is a blast-based unit, so that damage inflicted might be low to you. Okay, well, let's just keep going into him here. His Transform main ability, which is Crack, this is Crack, draws a blue card, restores own ki by 50, shortens ally sub count by 3, reduces enemy Dragon Balls by 2. Yeah, he lowers sub count on 2 main abilities, and then he goes neutral for 30 counts upon revival. Then he has not much damage inflicted going up. Again, he only stays at the 100% for like the peak, and then his blue card he gets up to 130%, or actually 110% because you're getting blasted. So 110% for his blue card, 100% for his blast, then 80 for everything else, right? Not the craziest damage inflicted, but if we were to look at Frieza's stats post-transformation, post-revival, whatever you want to call it, this Frieza pre, this is Frieza after. Frieza has the biggest glow-up of offensive stats of probably any revival. I believe Cell is pretty close, that they go around 30 to 40k difference, but Cell has 112k defenses pre. Frieza has 162. Now his defenses literally do not move. That's fine, but his offenses go so high. If you're wondering again why his stats are this high, his damage inflicted, it's only 100%. Kind of similar to Goku. It's just that Goku is not transforming. He has, I think it's similar-esque stats. We can actually just check when I go into Goku, but similar-esque stats to Mr., God Topo or something like that, right? But Kaioken Goku, just to look at him here, draw the ultimate arts, 20 times Kaioken Kamehameha. By the way, just to say, this scene, there's very few scenes that probably are greater in dub than anything. This scene, I remember it replaying and just watching it over and over and over and over. On TV as a kid. Oh my god, this is probably one of my favorite scenes in the dub ever. Because, dude, I get chills watching it. I just saw a clip of it now. This scene of 20 times Kaioken is, perfect. I love it. This is one of the few things that, Goku-wise, that I like representation of, because, Goku, while he is the main protagonist, I like other characters more. This scene, though, this was like my king Goku, my peak Goku. I'm so happy to see that 20 times Kaioken is going to be in the game. I'm so happy. Love it. Just wish it were a little bit better. By the way, animation-wise, Frieza shits on Goku animation-wise. Tough to see, but he's still coming, so we'll take it. He draws the ultimate 20 times Kaioken, restores own health by 30% and ki by 40, and restores own vanish gauge by 100%, and then applies attribute upgrade. Shortens sub count by 3 to self for 20 timer counts, and then his first unique, more damage to purple, damage received, 25% cut to it if they are purple, and then the fly effects occur when this character uses strike. Restores own ki by 5, 10% damage inflicted up to 40%, 5% damage inflicted by allies up to 20%, then fly effects occur after landing his strike arts. He's getting a debuff and a health restore debuff. Fun fact, it's kind of funny how they did this. I think it's a little bit of jokes from Legends, because they're a little funny guys sometimes. Both Frieza and Goku fuck over health restore. Now, Goku Vegeta, their main scary thing is health restore, health restore, health restore. They heal every card, they heal with the swap out, they heal quite literally by breathing, right? Well, they said no more as soon as Goku Vegeta is about to leave the boost, which is which is funny. You even look at Bardock, and maybe some units that came out prior to him, but these 3 units all back to back to back have something that fucks over health restore. You look at Bardock's main, he has minus 50% health restore for, what is that, 50 counts or something like that? All these units have the capability of fucking health restore, which in turn screws Goku Vegeta, mostly Goku Vegeta, right? You have Ultra Vegeta who heals, but Goku Vegeta is like the real screwed over there, which is funny to see. His second unique, where he has 50% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, and reduced damage received by 30% cannot be cancelled. Yeah, so his damage isn't the craziest. You look at it, he has 15% there, he has 50% there, so that's 65%, right? Then when he's built up he has 105%. Now, after a green card and stuff, he can get higher. I believe his green card is a, like, just a small little Kamehameha, which is chainable and nullifies social cover chains, so it's not like you're screwed after it. It's okay. The thing is, like I said earlier, his stats are comparable. Oh, did not know there was volume up. Are comparable to, let's say, God Topo, I believe, from when I saw it at least, because I actually couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, so Goku has, I think, a little bit less defenses and a little bit more offenses. Goku is more strike-based, obviously, so swap them as you will. But I don't think he's going to be terrible. It's just, you look at Frieza's stats for his damage inflicted, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like, 280 Ks, and then he has 100% to damage inflicted. That's fine, right? Goku having 105%, basically at peak setup there, while he is supporting his allies, and Frieza is also doing the same thing, there's a spot where it's a little bit sore because he's not getting a sub count. He's not always, oh, holy shit, I cannot speak. He's not always nullifying special cover change. He's not always doing something that's particularly perfect. Sure, the debuff of Health Restore and Damage C debuff is nice, but it's not anything that's like, okay, here's sub count up. Like, you're really fucked here. You can't really do much on here. But it's good enough. It's just that they're not good enough to go for. Again, you kind of look at where we are in PvP, and Kaioken Goku, well, again, he is green. Purples do be existing. You know, Chilled might shape up the meta a little bit here with how his Zenkai has been playing out. Me personally, been loving the shit out of Chilled, just doing, I mean, it seems like God's work, just, he's just doing it all for everyone. And it might change up the thought process of Frieza, but Goku, he'll be good against Goku Vegeta, he'll be good against Ultra Gogeta, and you might say, yes, that's very good for where we are in the meta, so it's not terrible if that happens, but you look at these characters that they build that are anti-something, not just like anti-Saiyan, because anti-Saiyan's fine, but anti, like, purple, anti-hybrid, anti-just this. Their fall off is very, very in front of your face. Kind of look like Gokua, right? Gokua, he was great for when he came out. He was great for what was needed. But then you kind of, Gokua who? Like, you didn't see him. His fall off is incredible, right? Kind of similar to, let's say, FSK a while back, where he did more against Regen. And Regen didn't have a very, well, he still don't. They didn't have a strong blue unit to kind of counter him out. So it was, okay, FSK's time. Now, disregarding that, of, you know, FSK being broken beyond belief, regardless of the anti-regen, his value went down at least because he was anti-regen in that aspect. It's not something that carried him, but it was something that's there. There's two ways to do it. One way is center the entire kit around this anti, and one way is the FSK way, where it's just an attribute, but it's not like the whole thing of their kit. They're not only going to do good against that. This Goku seems to be more on the Gokua side, where he's doing more against purple, reduced ANC by purple. That's great. But again, you're relying, what is that, 50% he's getting? Yeah, 50%. So you're getting 155% against the purple. Then you're kind of thinking, okay, now he's good, right? He has 155% with those stats. That's fine. God Topo doesn't really have a lot higher than that. I believe they're actually pretty similar on their peak damage inflicted. But again, an anti type of unit falls off much quicker than a non-anti. You kind of look at this Frieza, you know, he has healing he can offer, support he can offer, sub countdown, all that. Given Goku does have double vanish, triple vanish actually, because he has 60 or 70% vanish back on his unique after he sidesteps. But it seems more likely Goku would fall off. So if I'm thinking in a vacuum, Goku would be the worst of the two. But regardless of that, just to say, Goku, thank God he's green and he's coming out. For one, we only have LFs that are green that are meta relevant. Now, if I'm thinking without boost, I'm for sure on that. Now, with boost, that might change, but Gogeta 4, he is the only green right now that you will see in PvP. Sure, Zamasu Goku Black do exist. I've played them in LBR without boost, with peak equipments. They do not exist, right? They will fall off very quickly. Maybe this Goku won't replace that because, again, well, actually he could because he is boosted when he comes out. But again, we needed this at least 1% unit that's not on a step-up banner. Just something somewhere else. Yes, God Topo does exist, but I think this Goku actually could be a little bit better because his teams. We need this 1% unit of a green that's not an LF that's going to roll over, right? Because we had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we have Gogeta 4 now. We need just a basic-ass, generic fucking green, and I'm happy this Kaioken Goku can at least fill that slot of people who don't own G4 at higher stars. Okay, here you go. You don't have to, spend thousands of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, where did Frieza go? Yeah, Frieza here. And then Frieza, my take on him would be, he's going to help LOE a lot, for sure. He really helps Chilled, to be real, because that healing he does offer, I think it's 5%, again, to his allies. That helps Chilled to get his first unique of having a higher health percentage than the opponent, because obviously getting that passive heal is nice for him. I would say individually that this guy kind of stomps on Goku. I'm not really going to debate that because, well, it's not debatable. Frieza, his drawback would be his stats, not even his damage inflicted. And I'm, looking at here, his stats, right? It's just his defenses, right? They're not the worst. They're not the greatest. I believe Frieza has, 35% cut after he revives and 25% pre. So he's not going to tank the greatest, but he is going to be neutral, so you regard that into your tanking for 30 counts at least after he revives. He'll be tedious to deal with. He'll be what LOE needs. LOE did need either a super bulky, purple cooler type of bulky unit or a revival unit. And I mean, this is what they need, right? LOE getting more buffs right now this year than it got all of last year, all of 2020. It's nice to see LOE getting some love. Limiting him to that healing for Frieza Force or LOE is a little bit bad. I do feel that because powerful opponent, it's like, okay, I guess powerful opponent can go fuck themselves, but he is going to be pretty nice for what LOE needs. I don't think he is a big miss, but in general, the banner only being 600, these units not, defining a new meta because they're just plain old all-stars, I don't feel like you should be summoning on this. Save your CC. We will have the Battle Hour, which is going to show us the LF, I believe, of March in February. So you'll see that and know what to do for that one. Because last year, I think it was Rose who was showed in Battle Hour. And then people were like, oh, he looks cool a little bit. He got a scythe and shit, but it's only in the LF. We out here because he has 90% damage inflicted and he's not that great. But we will see the LF for March, and we could even see an LF in February. That's a Valentine's Day unit, right? Yeah, because they have been showing, at least in some details, I believe in the Blue 21 event, it does say a new type of character or something similar to that. So we could even see an LF21 if you guys want to go for that, because that's a big regen buff, Android buff. We're getting the movie Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which is going to be big Android buffs, big, Saiyan buffs. You might think this Kaioken Goku is a great Saiyan buff to your team if you don't go Gogeta 4. To give you some info, we're going to get a new Goku, a new Vegeta, a new this, a new that. We're going to get a ton of new things from Superhero, and Superhero comes out in April, so it's not like we're far off from that. This Goku will probably return on the Superhero banner of a new Goku, right? So, overall, decent units. I don't think they'll impact the meta too much. You might see them sometimes. You'll probably see the Frieza more than anything because people want to love and run LOE so badly. But, overall, not meta-defining, not the craziest, not a great banner, honestly. The format of the Z-Power is pretty shit. This is the worst Z-Power banner we do have in the game currently. Hopefully it does change. Again, I am lost on why it didn't change. Dailies, go for it. I will never say don't go for dailies, because dailies, you could get blessed and then you buy the mission plan and get their Z-Power up from 3-star to 6-star from there, right? So if you're going to think about them in that respect, sure, go for dailies. But going in on this banner, unless you main LOE, unless you main, Planet Namek Saga, I guess, and you want a real green that's not Ramon, there's no reason. Those are very two niche teams. LOE is pretty, Zenkai Frieza is not that hard to pull, or it's not that easy to pull. So, you know, having some of these units, Zenkai done, peeked out like yellow Zenkai Frieza done, red Metal Cooler if you want to run him done. Like, it's a little bit hard to get, but if you guys do summon on it in a few days here, let me know how your summons go. Obviously, I'll be summoning on it, getting their showcases, all this. But, with all that being said, let me know what you guys think of the new Revival Frieza and the Kaioken times 20 Goku. And if you're summoning, let me know. If you're not, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.